We going.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. We've been away for a while, but now we're back live in the man cave. This is Polk Hoops. I want to say welcome back to everybody. Appreciate y'all rocking with us in advance Sunday night. Before we get started, I want to say what's up to two co-hosts. Couldn't do it without. What's up, All-State PG, All-State Coach? What's going on, fellas?
What's up? What's up, Coach? How y'all doing, man? Been a while.
Been a while, man. Been a while. A lot been going on in the world.
Yeah.
Been going on at schools. A lot been, lot going on. Anyway, we gonna see it. We may get to it here and there, whatnot. But appreciate y'all rocking with us as always, man. As we start to get closer and closer, we on the downside. The clock is ticking to the start of official start. We know people been doing workouts and people been going to showcases and camps and all that kind of stuff. I know it's a big thing at Hoop Exchange at the Big House this weekend, but we're getting close to where folks are gonna really officially be back at practice. So we're excited for that. But before we get started, I don't know, PG. I know you've been here and there to and fro. So I don't know if you got a tumor take or not, but I'm gonna send it to you, see if you do or not.
No, we fresh off the press. I don't got one right now.
Yeah, I knew how that was gonna go. So anyway, Coach's Corner. Anything in your corner? Cause been a little while. If you don't, that's fine. But I just figure out.
No. I actually got some tonight. Okay. So let's talk about the era of coaches. The era of coaches that we grew up in the era of coaches now. It's been a few incidents in the newspaper, and that's been going around the county. Just think about the coaches that you had growing up, and are those coaches, or is that era dying out of tough coaching? Do we gotta adjust, transition to today's society and players and parents?
Sucks. You have to ask that question.
Do we have to adjust? Yes. Sadly, we do have to adjust because of, like you just said, because of present society. Is it a shame that we do have to adjust? Yes. Does that directly impact the level of product that we see? Yes. I can't use the term here that we used to use with the fire, and I think McGriff still use it over in Bartow. But you got a lot of coddling, trying to use a PC word that we can stay on the right side of being right. But it's a lot of coddling that goes on now that didn't go on back when we was getting coached.
So ain't no old school coaching, basically. The old school coaching style is empty.
That's one word. That's one way to use it. Cerebrus, you can say it. We say it on here, and I get a million inbox messages. But that's another word for coddling that is very accurate. But yeah, it's old school coaching out the door. The thing is, old school coaching gets you on the front page, on social media, on the front page of the newspaper. It gets you. It sends you viral. I don't know if y'all remember, like a couple years ago, it was Boucher Cora Fuller played with Florida State. Remember the video he had where he was outside a house or something? I don't know where he was at, but it was raining, and he had all the kids out there. He was like really going in, and a lot of people had issue with that. It's like it got a lot of negativity from it, and I'm sitting here listening to it like I'm still trying to figure out what's wrong with it. I don't even know if y'all saw the other day something even more recent when and I know this has went viral too. A lot of coaches like it, but then you even got some critics with it. The Deion Sanders little video that he did about practice. I don't know if y'all saw that where he kind of did it. It's very recent. He was talking about practice. Y'all can pull it up and listen to it. It's real good. It's very appropriate to most of us who, understand coaching as opposed to some of us that I don't know. I guess another question, Coach. You doing it right now? Has the definition of coaching changed?
I would say no. The definition of coaching hasn't changed. It's just the approach has changed, or is changing. And how you deal with situations. My thing is that those style of coaches that we were used to and growing up in, I think, once they die out, it's gonna die out, and then we're gonna have like a whole new, phase of basketball. Like, just think about the NBA, how Europe has influenced the NBA. I think it's gonna be that way in like coaching styles. It's gonna be a whole new way of coaching. I don't know what influence that's going to have on basketball, positive or negative, but more than likely, I'll probably be out of coaching by then.
That's going to be my next question. How long do you got? Because you consider yourself an old school coach?
I would say I am, pretty much my foundation. That's where it is. I'm not the rah-rah, cuss you out, embarrass you type person. I'll put my hands on you. Most of the things of me, coaching is done in practice. So most of my foundation, that's where it is. Most of me teaching and everything like that comes in practice. So once I get out in front, I try not to embarrass the kids in front of their peers and in front of their parents. But that's just me.
Bro, you an old school coach?
Definitely. Yeah, that's kind of why I wouldn't even want to coach this in this era. Because of how, like, now you can't even bring the best out of the kid. The way we would coach, you were able to bring the best out of the kid without having parent meetings about how you talk to the kids, this and that. So yeah, I wouldn't want to coach in this era. The talent might be a lot better, but it's just too much, man. Social media technology has kind of just crashed that style of coaching.
And I find myself like right now, probably about 4 or 5 weeks ago, I started helping coaching some 8-year-olds, a little league football team. I hadn't coached little league football since my son was in 7th grade, and he's in the second year in college right now. So me coaching these young kids now, as opposed to how I coached CJ, my son, LJ, Ray, them kids, as children, them guys I was coaching. I even find myself out there right now coaching totally different than I coached Coach CJ now. And just because you got to be so mindful of technology, I guess one way of putting it. And like you're saying, and one thing about me, like, and I say it to him, I mean, I'm not gonna say anything to you that I won't say to your parent. I'm not gonna say anything to you I won't say in front of your parents. So I don't have an issue with it. But I just find myself I'm not the same that I was, and I can see it for myself. But I mean, but it's different kids. You got to kind of adjust to the kids too, and just the day and the time, because the reality is you never know who recording you. So, you never know what's being recorded. You almost gotta anticipate that you're always being recorded. So you gotta and back when we was coaching, like when I coached CJ, and then when I coached, Lakeland Jenkins, when I coaching, my guys with the Fire, whatever, I wasn't coaching worried about was I being recorded and stuff. I mean, Lord knows if I've been recorded for some of that stuff. I mean, Like some of the stuff, but you understand, you didn't have that, you didn't have to worry about that, but now you do. You know what I'm saying? That's so you can't even really be an old school coach because of the landscape has changed. I guess that's what I'm trying to say in a roundabout way. So it's hard to be an old school coach because things are how they are now.
Certain kids have more access to get at a coach in a personal way because they can feel like they're being treated unfairly, and then you coaching in that style of way we coach.
Mm-hmm.
Just simple. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can record and have a situation set up the way it's not even the way it is, and boom. Just because this kid feel like I don't like him, I got favoritism. So, and then honestly, it's the parent the parenting. I think it's less fathers in the household again, and nowadays the moms are not handing the kids to the coaches the way they used to when we were growing up. Because a lot of us come out of single family households, but grandmothers and moms trusted the males when they were coaching the kids. Now moms want to have more of a say so, and rightfully so. I mean, they're in the household, but they have more of a say so about their kids nowadays. So if a kid comes home saying Coach Billy D showing favoritism, I'm interested. I want to transfer, and the parents are seeing that the kid is not getting support the way they think they should. Boom, they out of there.
And it's amazing that you use that word. I don't remember that word, Coach. You've been coaching for a long time as well. I mean, still are. I didn't always hear the word favoritism when describing how a coach coaches. It seems like that word comes up a lot nowadays. I don't, and maybe it did, and I just never heard it. I never, thank God I never heard it. But it seems like it's a lot more like common for folks to say he playing favorites or she playing favorites, favoritism. They got their picks and all this kind of stuff. I don't remember that as much. Maybe you did, Coach. Maybe you dealt with it a lot more, but I know it's a lot more now than it used to be.
I think it's more so now. You got more parents living their dreams to their kids, so that's the first way to attack it. Is with that word, because a lot of you. Am I wrong? There's a lot of parents that you're not looking at that are living their dreams to the kids. So when they live in that dream, the kids not getting or don't have the talent they had because they failed or whatever. What's the only excuse you can make?
I mean, you're definitely not wrong, Toomer. But also, I've heard it more when I was coaching football than I did when I was coaching basketball about a favoritism thing. But the thing is, I think it's more of an excuse of them trying to explain to people like why they're not playing or why they're not, the star on the team or getting the ball or anything of that nature. I don't know any coach that don't coach to win or try to maximize, you know, whatever talent that he has. If I'm a football coach and my strength is running the football, then that's what we're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Is so happen if you're a receiver, it might not be, the best thing for you, or vice versa. If throwing the ball is what we do, then that's what we're gonna do. Whatever it takes to win, I'm gonna do that. Yeah. And at the same time, make sure that I keep the integrity of the program together. I'm not gonna, you know, put the program at risk just to satisfy a kid or a parent. That's not gonna happen. But you have these kids these days miss practice, 1 or 2 days out of the week, and they expect to start at the game. I'm not going to compromise the integrity of the program.
They come in fully expecting like nothing's supposed to happen for the fact that they miss practice.
Yeah, when did that start happening? When did it become okay to just miss practice, man? Like I deal with that so much, but when did it become okay to just miss practice playing in a competitive sport? Not even just high school no more. Like when did that become okay?
I don't know when, bro, but it's definitely happening right now.
It's probably the biggest problem that you have with kids and parents now. It's just okay for them to miss practice.
Especially if you're in a situation where a kid, whether it's on their end or the parent is, feeding it, or the streets, or the fan club, whoever's feeding it, if they feel like they're needed, then it becomes even more of a is it bargaining chip? I don't know if that's the right word to use, but it's like they just feel like you need me so I can miss practice. You if you want to win, you have want a chance to win, you have to play me anyway type deal. And that's kind of how they operate. Like, it's not like I like you won't take a L without me, or you won't win. You won't win without me. Let me say it that way. If you don't play me, you're gonna lose type deal. And that happens a lot more than than it should. But
And see, that's where I step in at. My loyalty is those kids that are going to be there every day and practice every day. That's where I step in. If you miss practice, you're not going to play it. Whatever punishment that I have, I'm going to stick to it. I'd rather lose than play you. Then if admin or the program director disagree with me, then it's time for me to step down. So, that's just where I take a stand at, is that I'm going to do things the right way, and I'm going to hold them accountable.
The longevity of the program, you got to make those type of statements. You can't go backwards. But again, these parents expect for you to do it. Like, it's okay to miss practice. Even if you got a big game, it's okay the day before the game to miss practice. I think that's why we see so many of our kids fail and hit the transfer portal and all that, bro. They think that when they go to college, it's the same type of way.
And you just made a great point, Toma. We have a lot of kids that don't end up playing or end up leaving school right now.
Man, I don't even know that. I'm sure, like, if you go back to the 2020 crew, and let's see how many of them stayed still at the same school they at. And why they transferred. Kids these days don't even stay at the same school. I'm sure you have a lot of them that don't left.
But that's a good point, and same thing you were saying, Coach Marlon. I see just put in the chat asking, do you think that's why they end up back home so quick? I totally think that's why they end up back home, because you haven't been coached hard. Once you get to college, you're gonna get coached hard in college. I don't care. We paying for you to be here, so it's a whole different conversation. Like, you don't have to be here. We paying for you to be here, so we're gonna talk to you. We're gonna coach you. We're gonna get at you however we see fit. And if that hasn't happened before you get on somebody's campus, it's hard to deal with it if that's the first time that you're dealing with it. So that's totally a reason why I think, I'm not saying that's research based, but that's totally you look at it. A lot of them end up back home, and what else is it? They go to college and they get coached up hard, and they can't take it because it never happened before they left.
John has a good question. I would say no. Because that's the old school coach I know. My coach, Coach Williams. If you didn't play during the summer, you didn't attend summer camp, you weren't gonna be a part of this team. Now the school system has changed, so you liable to be putting yourself in a lawsuit situation or something like that for not allowing the kid to play because they weren't with you during the summer. But
I mean, you just don't say that. I mean, you just host tryouts and post a list of the kids that made the team. Yeah. I mean, as a basketball coach, please do not say just because you didn't play in the summer or whatever, you're not going to make this team. Do not tell them that. All right?
I definitely take the kid. I don't care how good it is. If you don't play in the summer, unless you're playing another sport during that time, and you're not doing the whole preseason in summer, it's time for you to turn.
Yeah, if it's a legit reason why they're missing preseason conditioning, yes. If it's a legit reason why they didn't play summer league, yes. But if they just straight like bucking, then I would say, yeah, I would, like Coach said, I wouldn't say you ain't playing, but I would make them try out, and then they wouldn't be on the list. Everybody know you trying out because the counter say you got to. You already know who you kind of dealing with, and you kind of. But I'll make sure that person over there in that line with the people that I'm, and then it just wouldn't work out.
Talking to no kid about no situation. You missing summer and preseason conditioning, man. You making a choice that you don't want to be there.
I mean, like I say, if it's a legit situation, like I said, if they, especially like in preseason, they play another sport, and obviously they can't be there for preseason conditioning if they know football or But if they there and they
like,
not
custody issues, issues like custody issues, like issues out of their control. You know what I'm saying? Those situations are rare.
For
Yeah,
high
so-
school,
If they just straight bucking, then that's something different. Yeah.
man, high school is just different. We talking the other one, but a high school kid,
Right.
I mean that percentage is low.
And then even with that, you know, Coach, you played 2 sports. I played 2 sports. I know Kathleen back in the day, bro. We would go practice football, and if Coach Jones and them was in the gym, we would go in the gym after practice and try to get in there and get in there what they was doing, and he would have to tell us, "No, y'all can't. Y'all got to finish." But it wasn't that we just didn't go. We went in there. We had to be told we couldn't. So even when you was playing another sport, once again, at the time before, you didn't have to be like coach didn't have to come looking for you to find you. You came in there, you still trying to. We done went out there and been in that sun 3-4 hours, and you still going to the gym. They in there trying to get some work. He wouldn't let us, but it wasn't because we wasn't trying to get in there. So even with that, it's just a different time, and you have to just be very adaptable, very like.
Coach Ray, that sound good, but boy, it's too many in high school. Boy, kids got cars. Boy, kids find ways. Boy, I just don't.
Where they want to go, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he got a Coach Rex got a great point, but I just couldn't hear that point with kids driving and coaches being able to, man, that's just hard. That ain't good kids gonna have transportation.
All right. Got a question for y'all. Sorry, this came up while we, doing our break. And we kind of talked about it off there, men. I know me and Tuma did anyway. If a student, this scenario, if you got a student athlete, he is a high or she is a high impact recruit and has already either signed or committed. And the team they own has no chance at the playoffs. No chance. They trash. They sanitation. Districts, etc. They don't have no chance of doing that. It's on a bad team. Is it a bad look for that player to stop playing and get ready for the next level?
I think I just saw that it just happened in football, didn't it?
I'm saying it came up since we've been off, so I think I'll hold it until we get on here to talk about it.
That's a new norm for that start happening, boy. That NIL money.
My thing is, bro, that's a form of quitting to me. Just because something's not going your way. You know what I'm saying? Like, be the person to make it change. You know what I'm saying? You always gonna meet adversity. That just gonna show me what you're gonna do when times get hard. You're gonna find out.
Is it a form of quitting at all levels before professional?
I say so.
Cause college players do it now too.
Only thing I can see acceptable in the college, and I'm still on the fence about it, is like when they don't play the bowl games.
That's the same thing, though, bro.
But quitting mid-season, though, come on, bro. You're not even finished the season. Like, oh, bro. Like I said, players play. That's what you're supposed to do is play. If you have the opportunity to play, you need to get your behind out there and play.
So what's the point of keeping playing if you leave in January? Let's say, for example, a kid about to leave in January to start his college career. What's the point of playing if you 2-8, 2-4, 2-6, and you got no chance, and you got 2 more games left? What's the point?
Bro, like I said, you don't quit. You know what I'm saying? Because if you quit on them, you'll end up quitting in college, bro. You'll quit on them then.
So look, do you believe that the colleges are telling these kids to fall back? Because that's what the rumors are now. Colleges are telling the kids, hey man, fall back. We got bigger and better things going on. So
you ain't gonna win anyway. Y'all trash anyway. You might well just chill, man, until you get up here with us.
Yeah, I'm hearing from high school coaches that colleges are not like having that, man. Like, hey man, we got bigger fish, man. We need you. Start in January. We can't have you here hurt.
Yeah, man. We need you to. Hey, that's it. Hey, that down there, man. Y'all ain't go.
I don't know.
Bro, y'all sanitation, man. You might well just chill, man. Just we can get you a little early.
What do you do about the injury? If you get hurt and you got a nagging injury, Coach Billy D, you got a nagging injury, right? You already out the playoffs. You got 3 more games left, but you leaving in January to play. Do you play those last 3 games? You got no chance at a state title and a district title?
Bro, if you can play, you should play. The difference between being hurt and an injury, bro. If you injured, sit down. If you hurt, bro, you still play, bro. I know you are. I know you are.
Oh my God! When I rest my body? When did I start weight training, Coach?
Oh man! Y'all send me the workout schedule. What y'all doing, man? So I can send me the playbook so I can be ready when you get there. I'm on the way, Coach.
Who's my NIL contact so I can start getting these bigger moves?
I'm on the way, man. Just give me a second. I'm coming. Oh man. All right, man. I thought I'd be interested to get y'all take on that one, man. So this is the quick chalk talk question. Okay, go back to, let's say, toughness. I read this, so I wrote it down. I'll read it to y'all, get y'all take on it. Say toughness is a talent. It's something you can build on every drill. This chalk talk on every drill in a practice or every possession in a game. Tough-minded and physically tough are hard to not keep in any game. So the question is, how do you teach toughness?
Competition. Yeah. And everything. You make everything a competition. But they're competing to win no matter what the drill is.
Yeah.
I learned that from Bobby Knight at a coaching clinic. You make everything a competition. And therefore they won't, take drills off or take a rep off because they know they got to compete because it's a punishment that's coming with it. So whoever lose got to run or do these push-ups or whatever punishment that comes with it. And then also, a lot of players take on the personality of their coach. So if you're in there coaching soft, your player's going to be soft.
Yeah, I agree with you. Competition.
Coach Red said you can't teach it. Y'all agree with that? Say it had to be developed.
What's the difference between develop and teaching?
But I about to say, isn't development teaching? Don't you have to teach? You teach it through development.
I think so.
Competing makes that though. And you get that in you. So it's gotta have some type of, like he said, coaching.
You gotta put them in a situation where they sink or swim, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to send my JV to the Wolves with my varsity, and just to show them this is the level that you're gonna have to play at. And most of the time, they didn't do well, but that was the whole point. But at some point, they got used to it, and now they're practicing against one of the best teams in the state, and then they were one of the better JV teams that I had. You just throw them out there with the Sharks, bro. They either gonna sink or swim. It is what it is. They'll be okay.
Yep.
Okay. Thought I'd put it out there. All right. So we said that on the show for the next couple shows at 10 at a time, we're gonna start to release our top 50 for the last 30 years. So we're gonna do 10. These are not ranked order. These are not 1 through 10. These are just 10 of the 50 that we just picked at random that we're going to drop in alphabetical order right now on the show, and then we'll post it on the page tomorrow, okay? So please I can't tell you how to spin it. I'm telling you from us, we just said, all right, we're just going to pick 10 other guys at random, alphabetize them, and just kind of drop them tonight. So that's what we're about to do right now, right? So the first guy is not a number 1 guy. The 10th guy is not number 10. We're not ranking them like that. We just listening. I know y'all saying I got to say all that, but y'all already know how it goes. So first, they still talking about Coach Wooden, Polk Coach Wooden.
I know. I was gonna tell y'all to get y'all front runner, bro.
Coach Wooden, man. Carolina Christian, man, they still won't let. They still bring my boy back, man. Bringing him back from the dead. So first one, and we'll list them, and then we can get some feedback and some insight if we want to. Okay. All right. First one, Bartow, Tony Bradley. I need to put them in the chat now. Just call them out. What y'all say?
Call them out.
Just call them out. All right. So here we go. The first 10: Tony Bradley from Bartow, Chris Davis, Kathleen, Dominique Jones, Lake Wells, Marlo Lawson, Lake Gibson, Tracy McGrady, Arbondale, Jamie Phillips, Winter Haven, Art Salary, Haines City, T. Smith, Arbondale, BB Walden, Kathleen, and Gerald Pop Zimmerman, Kathleen. That's the first 10 of the 50 list in alphabetical order. Thoughts, reaction, feedback, conversation.
I think every one of them are slam dunks, bro. It's like, it shouldn't be no conversation on whether they're on there. They're on there. I mean, those are easy, and there shouldn't be any rebuttal to those. That 10 names. That's just my point of view.
Legends.
PG, anything extra?
Them Polk County legends. I mean, not one should not be on there. All great. Great high school.
McDonald All-Americans too. Like, how can they not be on there?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
we're gonna put the 10. So we'll post the 10 tomorrow, and then next week we'll do 10 more. Following week 10 more until we get to 50. Okay. So
we'll question some of them 10.
Say again.
You best believe I'm gonna have a question about some of them 10.
Hey, well, listen. As always, bro, get on here and go left. All this is a collaboration. This is not a one list. So,
but those 10 he can't question, bro. He can't question them 10.
Them 10 hard.
Slam dunks. 2 hands hoops.
So before we kind of started dropping player lists for the upcoming season. Any reaction that you guys had? We did the 6 through 10 players for the 2022, 23, 24, and 25 class, and we also just listed six top shooters for next year. And
I feel like we finally got respect as a media outlet because we didn't have the hating comments like we would have had listing those 6 through 10 the way you did. Other than when you did the shooters, you had a million people naming people. But far just
everybody a shooter though, right?
No.
Yeah, I'm being funny, but everybody a shooter though.
Yeah, we know you're being funny, but they want to name everybody, man. Everybody because you tagging us to my name, it don't mean they don't get in there. You gotta show me.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? That's why, when we have them conversations offline, we like, should we change this, change that, man? Let them change our mind on the court. I mean, they'll take care of themselves. I mean, the biggest question mark is the 25 list. You just don't really know what those kids are gonna do. We know about the kid from Oasis. How you say his name?
D'Alessandro.
We know about that kid. That kid's gonna play varsity. That kid's gonna have some numbers. We know the Darner kid at Santa Fe is gonna play varsity, and he can really shoot the basketball. But those other kids, we don't know if they're gonna play varsity or not.
Who did the kid play AAU with? Who was he playing AAU with?
I have no clue.
I don't know he played with five, but he played with the 5 a couple years ago. I don't know who he played with last year.
Somebody, I have no clue. I have no clue on none of the 2025 other than that kid from Oasis. Right. We might be talking about a whole bunch of JV players.
And I done got word that it's a couple. So that top 5 is a couple that we gonna we'll drop. But even something that when we was looking for names and information, there was conversations about we don't know if this kid is reclassified or this kid is reclassified. So it's like it was even like I don't use the right word, but it was hard to kind of put them in whether it was 25, 26, 24, because I guess that's the new thing at that level. They doing all this reclassification, so you don't know who. Because there was one kid that we was gonna have in there that I got a message from the coach like he reclassified in 8th grade. So all right, so we took him out the list. There was a kid that we had in there that they said okay, reclassified up, so moved him up. So it's I guess that's the new thing. So you kind of got to even know if they're gonna be in what class they're gonna be in. But I think we got it as right as possible, especially with that 25. Since we it's kind of hit and miss with them. But I think we good.
Yeah, I think even though Coach Whelan's cooking up something over there. I know he got a kid that's gonna break in that 22 list for sure. You know what I'm saying? And that kid's pretty good.
He been quiet, so when they get quiet, stuff happening when they get quiet. They be hollering at you and talking to you, and then you don't hear from them. I know, but it's that time of year where everybody get quiet, so I can dig it. So
the Darner kid goes to Santa Fe. I'm so lost.
Yeah, he at Santa Fe now. He
left. They're talking about.
He left McKeel and went to Santa Fe. Yeah.
So Coach Sessom said he reclassed. Did he reclass to stay in 8th grade?
You can't play 8th grade over there at Santa Fe.
At Santa Fe? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's 9th grade.
You can do it at McKeel, right? But you can't do it at.
You can do it at McKeel. You can't do it at Santa Fe. Yeah. So, all right. So starting tomorrow, just to give you all an update, we're gonna start doing overall players and overall teams. So like tomorrow will be the number 25 overall player preseason and the number 25 overall team. Then but he's 9th grade right now though. Yeah, we got it right. We got him with 2025, so we got him right. So we'll start with 25 and then we'll work our way up. Do one player and one team each day starting tomorrow. So I'm sure we'll start getting some more feedback once players' names start. We tried them where we put them at, or we didn't put them at all, but we'll deal with it. So
everybody we tried, they ain't produced nothing after we say we tried them.
We tried. So how did we really try them? Or did we get it right? Now you don't want to say that.
Make the prove
us wrong, and we ain't got proved wrong yet. So we got something kind of figured out. So I'm gonna bring back a conversation that we done had before, and see how if you all still feel the same way or not about it. It's because it came up. I saw, on TV, and then I saw it on I Am Athlete last week. So I think I'll bring it up again just for us. The HBCU conversation. So we deep in football season. You got Deion Sanders that's at Jackson State. You got Eddie George that's at Tennessee State. Tyrone Wheatley is coaching at an HBCU somewhere. I can't call the name right now, but Tyrone Wheatley is also coaching the HBCU. They all coach HBCU teams. It's a lot of publicity that HBCUs, as far as football, is getting right now. Do you all, so kind of a 3-part question. First, do you think it's just a fad? Second, is it more about the culture? And third, do you think it's a 4-part question. Is it a fad? Is it about the culture? Are they getting prepared for the next level? And do you think this could spill over at any point to basketball?
1 and 3. No, it's not a fad. 3 is, what was 3 again? Third one?
3 is, are they preparing for the next level?
Yeah, professional players, retired professional Hall of Fame caliber players. So they're gonna prepare for the next level. But with 2 and 4, I can't answer.
You can't answer. Is it about the culture, or if it can spill over to basketball?
I don't think it's going to spill over to basketball.
Basketball and football are different.
No, it's not. Spill over to basketball.
You can go to the league and football playing at a small school regardless. All you need is All you need is to run a 4.3 in the 40.
But you got to think, like back in the 70s when nobody, going to those PWIs, Grambling was putting out pros left and right as far as football goes. And the thing is, what I found out about football, man, they send scouts out. They know who is good and who is not. They know who can play at that level. You know what I'm saying? That's why every now and then you'll see a kid from a black HBCU go in the first round. They know that kid can play. You know what I'm saying? First and second round, they know you can play. It's the reason why they're taking you that high. The advantage of playing at those type of schools, you can go in there and play right away. You know, how many people are going to Alabama and playing right away?
A lot of those kids transfer up to those schools too after they don't go.
Yes, after they don't make it, they end up
transferring. They get that depth chart. They go to HBCUs because they can play right away again. They can play right away. It ain't no holder because they're like a smaller Division I, right? It's like
1AA.
So they don't have to wait.
But just from this standpoint, so we got Deion is real big for bringing this attention to the football side of it, and Eddie George, Tyrone Wheatley helping. But do you all think that people like LeBron, who essentially is sponsoring FAMU with his off the court, just hear me out, with his off the court presence, and then Chris Paul with how much he does for HBCU, that you don't think that those guys with their reach can cause that type of shift for basketball that has arisen for football? Those are two like giants in basketball right now, and they both like fully support to the point where it's like, LeBron essentially sponsored FAMU to a point. Almost their basketball team almost like. So that you don't think that could possibly sway it? Y'all don't see that as being an option at all?
No, NIL.
No, not right now.
NIL money at the
power. Yeah. We got to catch up with facilities for one. Two, like, at least Deion Sanders, Tyrone Wheatley, Eddie George has a name, that players can flock to. Who in the HBCU ranks that will have that type of name that we will get, 4 and 5 star athletes like LeBron and CP3 will have to be the coach themselves in order to pull those kids to be there. You know what I'm saying? And then, bro, we all know what go on behind the scenes with those 4 and 5 star athletes. You know what I'm saying? So
now they got that NIL money too.
Yeah. Like basically they would have to kind of stranglehold up the market and being on primetime TV. Like Deion has done a great job that you get an HBCU game every Thursday on TV, like in front of the world. You know what I'm saying? It will have to get that type of publicity in order to put those kids in front of the world like that.
And it's more nowadays. High school kids in basketball, they can play at a professional level now. They just can't play in the NBA, so they can get a check. You gonna throw away $300,000 for 1 year before you go to the NBA just to go to HBCU? You sleeping
when you say it like that, just to go to HBCU, is that like, does that diminish the HBCU?
Nah, it's just mid. It's a mid major. You G League and get $500,000 in an endorsement deal, or HBCU.
Like, bro, like what would change?
What about the kid? What about the kid that can't get that? Let's not talk about that kid, because that kid ain't gonna go to Duke or North Carolina A&T. So let's not talk about that kid. Let's talk about a kid that's a college level athlete, not a next level phenom type athlete.
Well, if he's on the next level phenom, then they're not gonna raise no eyebrows for going to an HBCU.
But I'm saying you could be. But I'm saying is you can be a 4-star, 5-star, not be a lottery pick. It's plenty of them you still got a lot of 4-star, 5-stars that are not lottery picks. Is what I'm saying. I'm talking about that.
And I'm saying I think the NIL situation is gonna kill that HBCU talk again because LeBron can't pay them kids, but them kids going to Power 5, they got different companies that they can make. I don't know.
I'm looking at the kid that's not in line. That's still a top type player, above average player, but it's not a phenom, NIL, overtime elite, G League type of player. Because there's still gonna be plenty of those players that's not gonna be G League, overtime elite, G League type kids that's gonna go and play maybe 1 or 2 good years of college basketball and still be a real good above average player. That's the kid I'm talking about. Because like I said, them other kids not going to go to anybody's school. Like the kid that just went number 2 overall, he didn't go to nobody's school. He went straight to the G League. So they don't matter. He ain't going to Duke, Kentucky, Carolina, or anybody. So that's not a HBCU comparison, I guess. I'm talking about a kid that's a 3, 4, 5-star that's not to that level. That's the kid I'm talking about. So are we saying that that's not even a chance for that type of kid? Because that's the type of kid that can still build your program out because they're going to be there 2 or 3 years, which is what you really need. You don't need no one and done type kids to build it up because it ain't going to build up with one and done. You got to have a kid that's going to be there 2, 3 years. I would think I may be wrong with that.
But what's pulling that kid to that market is my question. What is going to pull that kid to that market?
So if that's the case, if we say what's going to pull them, would it? Because right now, what's pulling kids to in football? What's pulling them there? Is it ain't facilities?
Transfer portal.
That's what it is. You know what I'm saying?
But it ain't all transfer portal either. Those. I mean, it is for some of them, but it's still some kids that's coming out of high school going straight there.
What kids like?
And even the transfer portal, they got a choice. They don't have to go to Jack. It's not like Jack State the only school that they got a choice of. They got other schools to go to. So what is it that's pulling them to that school specifically when they got choices in that portal?
There's a lot of well-known kids at Jackson State.
No.
There are Dion, both his sons are there.
Yeah, they're the most well-known kid at school.
Yes,
but you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what is it that's pulling them not just to Jackson State, but any HBCU that's getting a transfer? What's the between Jackson State and North Dakota State? You understand? I mean, what is the pull there? So what would be the? I guess it's just conversation, but obviously we know that you're not gonna get them phenoms to go to nobody's college. If they can get $500,000, $300,000, they ain't going to nobody's school. So it don't matter who you is. But I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the 2-year kid or the 3-year kid that could build your program. If you got that type of endorsement, I guess that's the right word, like a LeBron, like a Chris Paul. I know you're saying they got a coach, but their influence could possibly, and maybe not. But I just want to revisit it because it's in the conversation right now. It's in the news. It's in the air.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
And Black just said Bronny and Michael Williams has to go to an HBCU to call the shift. I want to know, do you guys think Michael Williams is that dude?
Yeah, I think he's pretty good.
As a player or as just like as a trendsetter?
Will he be? What would he be on a pro level? Is he gonna be like a role player, or is he gonna be that dude on the pro level?
Will his game translate? What you're saying?
Yeah.
Role player. I think he more flash than substance, but he got so much flash, But I think he's more flash than substance. But I think it would help him to go to somebody college. But I could totally see him doing the G League thing, which I think might be a mistake. Because I think in the word we just used earlier, development, I think he leads at least 1, maybe 2, but he ain't gonna stay more than 1 year. But I think he needs at least 1 year of college development and college coaching. But I think he's more flash than substance, if you ask me though. But it's like I said, it's a lot of flash though. It's a lot of flash, but I think he's more flash than substance. What's your take?
I'm with Tuma. I think he's gonna be an average NBA player. I think he needs to take advantage of his fame and notoriety that he has right now and try to get whatever contract he can get early. You know what I'm saying? But I think overall he's gonna be average when it gets to the NBA level. But I gotta that just brought up another thing, Coach, when I just heard you talking. When was the last time that a basketball player has been drafted from an HBCU?
Big. I don't know if it's the last time, but the name that comes to mind, I can't call his name. He a big boy. He a center. He a post player. He done been with a couple teams. I can't call his daggone name to save my life right now. You know, maybe go back and go to him do my research. But it don't happen a lot. But I remember it's a post player. As a post player, he done been to a couple teams. He kind of bouncing around, kind of like a journeyman almost. But like I'm saying, Coach, I'm not even saying that these guys are like. I'm not even talking about like the NBA lottery picks, that kind of stuff. It's been one since Ben Wallace, Rich. I can't call his name right now. He in the league right now, but he bouncing around.
Was Ben Wallace drafted?
Ben Wallace was undrafted, yeah.
He finna be drafted, bro.
He finna be the first undrafted player to make it to the
Hall.
To Hall.
I'm trying to think who has been drafted from an HBCU.
Oh, what's his name is in the, I don't know if he got drafted, but what's his name? Yeah, O'Quinn, that's his name. I knew it was big kid. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, okay. Big guy that's floating around. But what's his name? I don't know if he got drafted, but he in the league right now. He went to Tennessee State, the wing player. He was with Philadelphia last year. Then he got traded. What's his name? He started with Covington. That's it. There it is right there. Covington. I don't know if Coach Hayes, I don't know if Covington got drafted or not, but I know he went to Tennessee State. And he started in the league right now. But I remember O'Quinn, and he kind of been bouncing around. I know he's a post player, so yeah. That's
So that's another thing, like, you know, does that increase my chances to get drafted or what? You know, I'm sure those kids think about stuff like that. I mean, you know, in football, they used to get drafted all the time. And they still do. But, you know, going to the HBCU playing
basketball. It's a lot easier because it's a lot more opportunity to get drafted in football. So, I mean, the window's a lot because it was undrafted. Okay. So, Quinn, I didn't know if he was drafted. I know he started, though, so that's a testament to him. But I know Quinn was drafted. I know he done bounced around a lot. So it's two players in the league right now, currently from HBCU. So I'm not saying that they go to HBCU and they make it to the league. I mean, we know how tough that is. But I'm saying just a good experience. I'm saying, I mean, the dude won't let CCC go. But I just look at how the impact that they've made on HBC. Who would have predicted 3 years ago that, like you just said, we would have a live HBCU game every week. Not every now and then. Every Thursday night it's an HBCU game on. And it's on ESPN. It's on ESPN right along with a Power 5 or a regular game, right along with NFL games. So it's like, who would have started that 3 years ago? So I'm not saying that it'll ever happen for basketball, but I mean, they got some major people that are supporting it right now in LeBron and Chris Paul. So the opportunity is there now. Whether it will happen or not, I don't know. but it's there. It would be nice if it did happen. Coach Shields, OG. What's up, Coach Shields? Coach Shields, and I know Coach Shields said it was many Hall of Fame players that were drafted prior to integration.
Yeah, I mean,
So, what impact do you think, Coach, both Coach Shields in the chat and Coach Billy D, what impact did the international game influence, etc., have on HBCU productivity, or do you think it had any impact?
I think it did. I think it diminished those kids' chances, as far as getting drafted goes. Because if you haven't noticed, you see a lot of overseas people get drafted that never play in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? They like leave them over there for like a year or two before they even come over. So I mean, that's an opportunity. Another kid that was already here will have the chance to play. So I think overseas is making it harder for those type of kids to get an opportunity.
Yeah, because I was talking. I forgot who I was talking to, but you know, it's 64 um, draft spots. There's 2 rounds in the league in the draft, so it's 64 picks. I said, you tell me if I'm off with these numbers. I said at least 20 of those picks automatically are going to over foreign players.
Mm-hmm.
20 of them. So you essentially left with 44 picks if you're an American player, born player, to have a chance to get drafted in the league. 44 picks out of all the people that's playing basketball at all the levels in the United States. Not include now, we don't add the G League into it, but just college itself. All those kids, you got 44 chances of hearing your name called because 20 of those things, like you said, if them guys never step foot in America, 20 of them names getting called are going to be from overseas. So that further diminishes it for the chance of an HBCU kid in today's climate because that's a lot less research they're gonna do because they're doing the research overseas as opposed to here, here at home. I mean, I may be off on that, but that's my take on it. So I thought it was just a sudden revisit since it's up and it's in the news. It's relevant. It's in our face on a regular basis. So I got one more question, Coach, before I let you go, because I know it's Go Bucks. I know you got your flags already flying, so I don't want to take that from you. So, last question for tonight, and this may take a little while for you to answer, but I always ask one question, just kind of a thought question. This is a little different. This is a sports thought question. Just give me one now, maybe more than one. One sports moment that you wish you could have a redo. One sports moment.
Any sports moment?
Any sports moment. One sports moment you wish you could have a redo.
Oh man, this is easy. All right. So first of all, I'm a Hurricane fan, right?
Yes, sir.
So we win it in 2001. 2002, we supposed to win it also. All right. So that pass interference call
Ohio
in
State
the end zone was horrible. All right. So first of all, that call is horrible. But the thing is, Sean Taylor basically throws his helmet up in the air, thinking that we've won the game. Right, all the ear pads, everything pops out the helmet, and whatever they make the call. He's not even on the field the next play, trying to, get his helmet together. Pass interference in the end zone. They put the ball on the 1 yard line. Whatever. But the U was supposed to be back-to-back national champions. Period. That was a horrible call, Coach.
It was a bad call. It was a bad
horrible call, Coach. Like, come on, man. Let the kids decide the game. You know what I'm saying? Let the kids decide. They let Ohio State sneak in and get that national championship.
Yeah. And this one I wish could be a redo, and it's kind of right in line. But I mean, I'm just for the sake of time and just kind of going in line with you. Mine, the first one is, and once upon a time, and now we kind of on a break right now because they toxic. They toxic for me, so I've taken a break from them. But Florida State is my team. So here and now, like I say, right now we kind of reevaluating the toxicity of the relationship. But the first wide right, the very first one, which was probably our best Florida State team, Dion, game of the century, and that first, I think I might have stayed in the house for two straight days after that. Like, coach, I took that like I was I lined up like I had on some headphones. I took that one, man. That was a war, man. That was like that when that thing went, I was running with Bobby Bowden, man, and when he stopped and the thing just, yeah, that one that's still tough. So that's mine. Which if we could have 6 more inches back, we could have moved the ball. I don't know, shoulda, woulda, coulda, but that's the sports moment I wish I could have back. So I might post that on the page tomorrow. See what other people think about what their one sports moment they wish they could have back. I might get some good conversation. So, all right, man. Well, that's it, man, for tonight. We're gonna let y'all go, man, because I know that the Buccaneers are on, and I know when it's go Bucks, it's nothing else. I know the Bucks. It's 2 times with nothing else. It's go Bucks and it's go Cowboys. So the Cowboys already played. The Ravens came back and won. Cook. Okay, good deal. Hopefully Lamar Jackson did good for me in my fantasy. So I know they was a dog fight earlier.
You did take an L last week, Coach. I ain't gonna tell everybody.
Who did take an L?
You took an L in fantasy last week.
Oh man. I thought I'm taking you. I'm playing you. I'm taking one right now. Ain't I? I thought I'm playing you right now in one of them leagues.
I know I played you in one league last week. We playing again?
I thought you AA, right? You A Anonymous, right?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. I'm taking one right now from what I saw before I jumped on here. Look at that. Cowboy. You gotta do is say Cowboys. And they come running, but Coach Shields and Cowboy, my dad at Cowboy, them Cowboys. When the Cowboys win, everything right with the world. The Cowboys lose, man, don't text me, don't call me. Don't look at me. My wife a Cowboy fan, my dad a Cowboy fan, but it's anyway. So good luck. Coach Marlon, we tried to be respectful of the fact that the Bucks on, so we're not gonna do the picks this week. If the Bucks weren't playing tonight, we would, but we're trying to let the folks go watch the Bucks because we don't want to lose no friends, and we got a lot of friends that are Buck fans. So out of respect to them, and the GOAT going back home tonight, we're gonna jump off. So man, next week we'll drop 10 more names. We'll discuss the 5 players and the 5 teams that we're gonna drop this week. As far as we get ready to roll down to the start of the season. So y'all be safe this week, man. Out of your comings and goings. If you are a student that's watching this, man, please be safe. Please do not let TikTok get you in trouble. I won't put more on it than that. Just please TikTok for entertainment, because that's all it's supposed to be. Don't make it real life for you, and then you get something that you can't take back. So, but having said that, man, y'all be safe. We appreciate y'all rocking with us, man. We'll be back next week, same time. Y'all have a good week, and till then, Polk Hoops, we out. Be safe. Cause I think that we're gonna just log out because bro is gone. He the one that's gotta stop it.